Hey YouTube, Petey Twofinger here talking about comfort straps. So if you want to go ahead and tear into me, I'm handicapped. I'm missing two fingers. I cut those off on a lawnmower. I play with a pinky and an index. I'm not talented. I faked my way through this and I herniated some disc. I've got degeneration in my spine, which is a bulging disc and a ruptured disc. And so I go to a pain clinic and I'm in a real lot of pain. So the first couple of years I got hurt, I was hoping I would get better and I was miserable. I wasn't doing anything. And then I decided I'm going to start working on guitar pedals and try to build an outdoor rig that's battery powered so the family band could play out and writing songs. So when I'm not doing this stuff, I'm absolutely miserable. Now I'm not working because of my back pain, and that really messed up my life. It really did. I have a hard time sleeping. I'm just in this intense pain all the time. The medication isn't good. It helps to kill the pain, but it's there's side effects with that. So it's really been very tough for me. And making music has been the thing that keeps my mental. It distracts me to the point where I can tolerate being alive. It's not like this horrible depression, feeling like you're going to burst into tears, or not being able to sleep at night. So, music for me is a very important part of my life. And I'm not saying I'm a great guitar player or better than anyone else. I'm handicapped. I'm missing half of my shit. And ideally, I would have, like, I have a pinky and an index, and my pinky's weak. And I'm not born with talent. I know what talent is, that's Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai, Adrian Blue. I don't have that. I've worked very hard and accomplished some goals. So I am proud of myself. It is significant what I've done. I've built a lot of stuff. I've spent a lot of time to get where I am, and I'm proud of myself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. In the past, I've been attacked. I've been called names. I've been thumbed down consistently by a group of people on this channel, and it's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing, but I do need to address people saying that I'm this proud person going around just talking about how great I am and how many views my channel has gotten. Okay, I brought that up one time because I was called out for my low view count. Okay, so I brought that up once. As far as being a great guitar player, give me a break. I can't play any covers because I'm missing my fingers. So I have to write my own quote unquote music within my handicap. Now I do have a problem with the guitar community, certain people acting like they're better than other people because of the gear they own. I don't like people trash talking gear. I don't like people trash talking other musicians. I think you should look at it like you're on a path and you're going and you're learning. Same thing with gear. The gear that's out now a lot of it is really unbelievably great compared to what was out there before. So we need to embrace each other as musicians because rock is supposedly dying. Hip hop has taken over. As rock and rollers, we need to see past our differences. Whether the guy wears a suit and a tie and he's a lawyer, or you're this headbanger guy, or you're worshiping Satan and you're into Bathory or whatever, we're all the same thing. We're guitar players. So let's start trying to treat each other with some respect. So I'm going to talk about comfort straps today, even though I play light guitars. And if you want to mock me for that, go ahead, but hopefully this information will be useful to someone. To save you some hassle, I probably should have said this right off the bat. ASMUSE, ASMUSE. That's the strap I'm recommending. They're like 25 bucks. It's well made. It's a comfort strap with neoprene. The other thing you can get is just these seatbelt cushions that have Velcro, and wrap this around an existing strap. So if you have something like this, a normal 2-inch wide guitar strap, you put one of these on there, and when you roll it on there, make sure that the sharp Velcro isn't going to hit your neck. You can always take it off and flip it around, so that's going to be facing away from you. Okay, so these are highly recommended. Talking about comfort straps, this is the first one I ever had. It's a real thick neoprene. Is that what, scuba diver or wetsuit? I don't know. But this, it has one of those pads, because if you look, the 90 here, the way this is stitched, it almost feels like an abrasive, not serrated knife. So if you're playing for any considerable amount of time, this rubbing on my neck, my skin, my sensitive skin, if it isn't sensitive, I think anybody, this would bother them. It's like a knife. So yeah, I got that pad on there, and I use a pair of, or it's like 3 on this one. I've got safety pins holding it in place. So that's part of the deal. Also, you know, obviously, these push button strap locks. You can get these Chinese versions of them for cheap on eBay. So you can order comfort strap. If you look comfort strap up, this is actually the brand. It's called comfort strap, and this is a base strap. It'll work just fine on guitar. This one is sectional, you'll see that. And these are great. They're not as sharp on the neck. These are actually okay. As that other one, the older one that I got in like the 90s, man, is that sharp. That's a problem. This is tolerable. These aren't bad. These really aren't bad. They're pretty well made. It's not, I don't, you know what? It does look like real leather. And then it's the usual nylon stuff. So these are pretty well made. They're like $24 to $32. This is a Levi's stretch strap. This is what a guy named Buckethead uses, a Levi's #1 stretch strap. So this is stretchy, and I think they changed the material that this is made out of. It used to stretch more, but this is very comfortable. It's thin though, so I've incorporated one of these pads. And again, there's a big old honkin', what do you call that, safety pin, and that's clipped on there. It's not Johnny Rotten, it's just to hold it in place, because if you don't have it there, it's going to slide all over the place and drive you nuts. A neat thing is you can hide an Allen wrench, and there's a slot in here. Any strap that has a little slot in there with the stitching where you could slip something in there. So if you need an Allen wrench for your guitar, that's one place to hide it. You can take some black hockey tape and then cover that. Like oh my goodness, where is it? On this guitar uses an Allen for the tremolo arm. So I've got that in here right now. That's kind of a spare in case, because what I do recommend you get one of these. This is a 1.5 millimeter, but whatever size you need. Like this guitar, to put the whammy bar in and out, you use this. And I know people say, oh, there's a way around that or whatever. Well, that's great. That's fine for you. I went ahead and spent $1.50 on this tool. You know what? I think this was $3. I can't lie. But having a spare seemed like a good idea, and keeping it in the strap seemed like an even better idea. So here we have this is why I made this video. It's unbelievable I gotta go through all this stuff and explain, so I'm not mocked and talked about behind my back. Asmuse, A-S-M-U-S-E, Asmuse, how do you pronounce that? I don't know. Made in China, but this is like really well made. And the great thing about it is the neoprene wraps around the side, so there's no edge to cut into my chicken neck, my soft skin on my neck. So this, it's comfy. And it's, again, this seems like they pay attention. They do a good job on this strap. This one, I wasn't like, that comfort strap, I was like, I don't know, it's kind of shoddy for what you pay for it. You know, like, this leather on here, this is twice as thick on the Asmuse one. This one's kind of flimsy, you know. on the comfort strap, and she didn't really even use that much. But I don't want to say it's junk. It's okay. It's okay, and this is the same price, if not a little less. This S Muse one, and I got to tell you, I wasn't. I didn't find that, like, I've gone through this a bunch of times, and I found this S Muse brand this year. So I don't know if it's new or it's just I didn't dig deep enough. So when I did my Google search, I kept clicking over and over and over, and looking, and then I found this one. And the thing about the S Muse, it's got a pocket here for picks. Came with a yellow, a blue, and a black pick. They even looked cool in there. It's like, oh, what's this? Holy cow, a little pick thing, you know? And I believe this is longer, where this goes to 65 instead of 59. I'm not sure. I know people gripe about the one of the complaints that, if you look on the Amazon for this brand, was that they were a little short. Like, they said they were long, and then people got them and they didn't measure, and they were like, it's too short. You know, if you're one of these guys that, you know, Chris Novoselic, the Nirvana bass player, would have his bass down by his knees, and the only thing was he was like, 7 feet tall. So I gotta tell you, my recommendations for this is the S Muse. It's affordable. You don't need to buy anything else, but if you do understand that neck irritation that I'm talking about, you could always go ahead and pick up a couple of these for cheap. These are eBay seat belt cushions with Velcro, and these work really well. The only thing is keeping them stationary. If you handy with a needle and thread, you could go ahead and try to stitch it into place, or just use a safety pin. The other brand, the comfort strap, isn't bad. It's actually a little bit more expensive than this, so I kind of can't recommend that. I would say get the S Muse. This old 90s, 80s style one, this has the most give. It seems like when you pull it, it gives the most, with the exception of the very comfortable and very light Levy's #1 stretch strap. So this, obviously I could very well just flip this around. Would it matter to cover up that #1? I didn't even think of that. Flip it around and be done with it, right? Who's gonna care? #1, the heck out of here with that crap. And then, of course, like I said, I utilize one of these seat belt cushions on this strap because it's very thin, and like a Bryan Adams song, cuts like a knife. You ain't kidding about that. So eventually I'm more than likely going to be getting additional I'm trying to determine, is this different? These are different, and man, they wear out. I've got more of these things because I like these. I'm gonna want to replace what's on this. This is for my Fernandez guitar. Probably, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, nickel metal hydride 9.6 volt remote control car battery that lives in my strap. That there's a fuse in here, and then it comes down to this 90, and that powers the Sustainiac and the active pickups in my Fernandez. So I don't have to keep going through 9-volt batteries. That's rechargeable. So that works out really well for me. So anyway, the S Muse, highly recommended. That's the one you're going to want to get. If the idea of that stretch strap, if that appeals to you, doing, pushing your guitar down low for an effect on stage, you could get the Levy's #1, and that does that. But keep in mind, wow, it's a lot of pressure for you to be able to do that. Seriously, this is so strong. you're not going to be able to do what Buckethead does unless you get one of the old ones, and they're super expensive. They changed it. They changed this material, which I had heard that they changed it, and I went ahead and bought it because I only saw one person say that, and then I got it, and it's like, you can't do what Buckethead does. So I thought, wouldn't that be cool to just take your guitar and you know, and you can't. You can't do it. You'll break your strap locks off. It's so much pressure on this to do this. So that was kind of a little bit of a disappointment that they changed it. So again, I kind of can't recommend this, but honestly, it's comfortable. As once you put a seatbelt thing on there, so it's over that. And if that never bothered you, I hope it doesn't start bothering you, because it never bothered me either until I got older. Until I was like 45 in there, it started really bothering me. I don't know what it was. If my shirt got, you know, or I was just drunk. All right, you guys. Good luck with your comfort strap, and good words, good thoughts, good words, good deeds, and peace.